So Casey,
Oh, don't worry about it. You guys ready?
I got it started.
You good?
Yeah, we're starting,
Okay. All right, I'm going to bring to order the meeting of the Green Bay Sex Offenders Residency Board for March the 13th. We'll start off with a quick roll call. We have Renee here, Kathy Kramer is not, Melissa Cheslack is here, and Ed Dorff is here along with myself. Okay, we just need a motion to approve today's agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion passes unanimously.
All right. Next is approval of our minutes from our previous meeting. Is that right? No.
From February 20th.
Yeah, from the February 20th meeting.
Move to approve.
Seconded.
Motion passes 3 yes, 1 abstain.
Okay, we're going to start with our first appeal, Harley Cantrell. Mr. Cantrell? I'm going to make a motion to deny Mr. Cantrell to, I believe it was
814 North Broadway, Green Bay.
814th North Broadway.
A second.
Motion to deny passes unanimously.
Next up is the appeal of Tammy DeBeck. Tammy, why don't you come up, please? Yep, please, right here. Second, you're just waiting for, okay, Tammy. You're looking to move to 1730 Bogart, or Badger Street, I'm sorry, apartment number 2?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let you know what we're gonna go through today. We're gonna go through your case. going through what actually happened, we'd ask that you just refer to the person as the victim. In this particular case, don't refer to them by personal name or affiliation of whether it was a niece or nephew or anything like that. The next thing we're gonna go over is any treatment programs that you may have had. You have the right to do that either in public session or a private session. Which would you prefer?
Public time.
Okay. Any questions before we get started?
No.
Okay, great. Okay, so looks like your offense was back in 2015
Yes.
with a 7-year-old. Tell me what happened.
I ended up messing with someone that I shouldn't have been messing with. And I ended up putting the victim in my room to watch us have oral sex and regular sex.
So you had this 7-year-old watch while you had sex with somebody else?
Yes.
Okay. And did that person participate at all other than watching?
No.
Okay. And how did it come about that this was discovered?
I ended up calling the police and CPS.
So you called on yourself?
Yes.
So tell me, what was going through your mind? Why did this even occur in the first place? If obviously you felt some guilt after it was done because you called the police.
Right. I felt remorse. I wanted to have my own sexual, perverse, sick mind, body, whatever, fulfilled. And it didn't matter what the age of the victim was. So I grabbed the closest victim to me, and put him in the room.
Okay.
Just for the purpose of having them watch?
Just for the purpose of having him watch.
Okay, you served 3 years in prison for this?
I did.
Okay. Does anybody have any more questions on the case itself? Is that what it says in the case file?
Very accurate.
Okay. Was this a one-time event?
It happened 2 different times.
Okay.
Same victim?
Same victim. One happened in December of 14, and then the other incident happened in February of 15.
Okay.
And then I called the police the next day.
So, when were you released?
February 19th.
Okay. Who do you intend to live with?
Myself.
Yourself. Okay, do you have a job already, or what's
I
your
do.
plug? Who are you working for?
I work through a head staffing over at, they go through Sound Partners in Denmark.
Okay. And who are you working for right now? What company?
I work through a head.
Ahead.
Staffing.
It's definitely, but I mean.
They go through Sound Partners
Oh, okay.
in Denmark.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
I have a question. In your appeal form, you say, I feel like he may turn out to be a sex offender also when he grows up. Is this, I don't know how to ask it. Are you gonna try to help him get treatment, or is there any contact?
I can't have any contact with him. I can't have any contact with any child under the age of 18 unless it's approved.
Okay. Okay, I can't ask it the way I want, because I don't. Okay, thank you.
Are you on a bracelet right now?
I'm on a GPS
You're on
bracelet.
a GPS bracelet. Okay. If there's no more questions, let's talk a little bit about your treatment program. So at this point, you went through some anger management training, you said, right?
I have.
Okay, but you don't have any, do you have any documentation of that?
This was prior to like in 1998 and 2003.
Okay. So when you were in prison, is there a reason why you didn't get any sex offender training to talk about some of the feelings that you had that related to this?
I went through SOT, sex offender treatment, twice and failed. The first time was for having contact with my, I wouldn't call him my victim, I don't know if he is my victim or not, but it was somebody related to me.
So.
I don't know if I can say.
So when you were in, so I guess my question is, so you were in prison for 3.5 years, so my question is, you know, if you were in SOT training and you were in prison, how could you meet a minor, I guess, is my question.
It's through the mail. I was
Through the mail,
writing-
okay, through the mail, okay.
I was writing a minor that, I'm not supposed to have contact with
Right.
a minor, whether it's writing or in person and stuff. I chose to write.
Okay.
To the person who was your victim? Or just a minor?
We'll just say a minor.
Okay.
Um,
And so you were kicked out of SO2 training? I'm
I was
assuming?
kicked out because I admitted to my mistake.
Okay.
Then the second time was because I had a prison girlfriend, and I admitted to that too.
Since you've been out, have you gone to or signed up for any sexual offender training?
I have an evaluation coming up,
When's
I
that?
believe on the 29th. I find out more information from my probation officer on Friday.
And we're released again on the 20, what of
19th.
February?
On the 19th.
19th of February. So you were released directly onto the street or not to like the attic or any place else?
The attic is for men only,
Okay,
so I was directly on the streets.
okay. So where you been spending your nights?
Well, the first week I stayed over at the Village Inn, and then I've been staying off and on over at my friend's house.
Okay.
Just so I'm clear, are you waiting to be accepted into another SO2 program, or?
I am.
Okay.
I'm getting the evaluation for it.
Did you ever end up completing any SO2 treatment while you were incarcerated?
I went partially through. I was
Okay.
like almost completely done.
So I guess a question that's run through my mind is, I'm assuming you knew that in both instances you were breaking the rules, right?
I did.
So why'd you do it?
I did it because I wanted to have a girlfriend, and I did it because I wanted to have contact with my victim.
Okay. Do you regret it?
I do, very much.
Why?
I could have completed it, but because of my own stupidity, I chose not to.
Do you have any impulses to contact him now,
No.
if you did in prison?
No.
When you contacted him, how far were you into your sentence?
I would say like 1.5, I was halfway through.
Okay. Do you have any information on those particular instances or not?
No, that would be on the OC.
Okay, okay. Okay, I guess the question I have is, so why should we let you live in the city right now? Because this is what I'm kind of seeing, okay? Obviously, you know, what you did with the victim, you know, was reprehensible, and you obviously felt that way yourself the second time you did it, and that's why you spent the time in prison. But at the same time, it seems that, you know, you've had issues with staying on track, because obviously you broke the rules not once but twice. That got you kicked out of SO2 training, SOT training, sorry. So, you know, why should we give you this chance when you've had chances to kind of learn from your mistakes, but you decided that to still break the rules, I guess is my question. And in the fact that, you know, you haven't had a chance to get evaluated yet, and to know where you're actually sitting in your rehab, you know, for this type of offense. Tell me why we should give you this chance.
Because I'm actually ready now. I'm ready to take care of me.
I have a quick question. In your application, you wrote that you lived in Green Bay your entire life except for between 2003, 2011. Where were you? Still
In Indy Pier, in what, East of Pier, and then, 1 year I was in, like, 2011, I stayed in West of Pier for a year.
Can you talk to us about the community ties and support that you listed here? You mentioned a couple of family names and some friend names, and then you said possibly circles of support. So who do you have to help you out right now?
I have my mom and my sister are my support, and then my 2 best friends, my closest friends that are here.
They're here today?
And how long have you known your friends that are here on your behalf?
Nearly 10 years.
And where do they live? In general, I don't need to know specifically.
They live in Green Bay. They've been a great help to me.
In what ways?
Every way. In every way, they've given me a place to stay on their couch for no more than 10 days. Food, support, like emotional support. They've just been a great support system for me.
And why do you say possibly circles of support? Is it like you don't know anything about them? Why is that a possibly?
Well, I mean, I know they're my support system.
Circles of support is?
Oh, no, I haven't I filled out an application for them,
Oh, okay, that's, okay.
yeah. I
So you're just
haven't-
waiting to hear if they'll
Right.
accept it, got it, right?
All right, any more questions for her?
Ma'am, just one moment.
Go ahead, sure.
Thanks.
I was just gonna ask if anybody wanted to speak either for or against her.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This
Go ahead,
location.
then. Yeah.
So does anybody want to speak either for her or against her in her application?
I do.
Ma'am, why don't you come on up? I just need your name and address for the record.
Susan Krause, 812 Lincoln,
12 Lincoln.
Can
Go
you spell
ahead.
your last name, please?
Krause.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Today, this morning, I went and filled out paperwork to be, what was that word?
Chaperone.
Chaperone, that's the word I'm thinking of. To be her chaperone. I've worked at a place for over 15 years. I have nothing that I've done bad to show for. I've worked really hard. I've stayed at McDonald's in West Pier over 15 years. I've been with my other half for about the same also. So she's actually done really good. The only thing left to do is doing what we are doing right now. She did almost everything except for what she said about going to that one class.
You mean circles of support?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, she's talking about the treatment.
Treatment also
treatment,
too,
okay,
yes.
okay.
I've been out since February 19th, and I have done everything except for the SLT program, which I have an evaluation for coming up, and finding a place, and I've done this all within less than a month.
Yep.
That's huge for me.
I'm sure anybody, her PO was saying something about somebody being, doing stuff for 9 months or longer. I'm like, wow.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else you'd like to say in her
And
behalf?
I'm proud of what she's accomplished in the past month.
Okay. So you knew her prior to this
Yes.
incident. Why do you think she did what she did?
I would say impulse, you know? I mean, sometimes we all have that inkling or whatever, but we all learn from our mistakes, and I think she has learned.
Okay. All right, thank you for your time. Is there anybody else? Sir, I can't see you. Would you come on up? Could I just have your name and address?
Michael Horn, 812 Lincoln Street, Green Bay.
Go ahead.
I'm just pretty much echoing everything Sue has said, you know, about the progress she's made. You know, she got the job, and she's been working hard doing it. And, you know, I think she's hitting her marks as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. All right, does anybody else have any questions for him? All right, thank you for your time. Is there anybody else? Okay, I think you had another question. You were
Oh,
gonna-
no, I'm fine, I just needed to review some
Oh.
notes.
Okay. All right, does anybody have any more questions or thoughts before I ask for a motion? Okay, does anybody want to make a motion in regards to this appeal? For Mr. Beck.
I will move to grant her appeal to move to 1730 Badger Street, Apartment 2.
Address specific.
Address specific, thank you.
Is there a second? Okay, motion fails. Is there another motion anybody would like to make?
Yes, motion to grant the appeal, address specific, with a return for, in 120 days to check her status. I'm concerned with the fact that you haven't completed the SO2 training at this time. And you had 2 other opportunities to complete it, and you weren't able to do that. So that's my primary concern for public safety reasons. Therefore, I would, that was the motion.
Okay, is there a second to that motion?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion to approve her to 1730 Badger Street, Apartment 2, address specific for a term of 120 days, at which time she'd have to come back and show us the progress she's made in terms of getting through SO2 training. SOT training, sorry.
So it was approved, but I have to.
No, we're voting right now.
Okay, my bad.
Motion fails with a 2-2 vote.
Okay, so right now the motion failed. That would have granted you residency for 120 days. Because it's a tie, we don't have an odd number here today. Is there any discussion anybody would like to make prior to potentially asking for another motion? If not, then we'll go forward. You know, my thought is that it wasn't necessarily totally against your motion. I thought 120 days was a little bit long. I guess my thought process is I definitely for sure wanted to see the evaluation. I'm concerned that you know, this definitely was an impulse thing she did. And then she had 2 other impulses while she was incarcerated. So now I worry about another impulse occurring. And without even an evaluation, I'm really struggling with granting her any access at this time.
Mr. Beck, when is your evaluation?
I believe it's gonna be like the 29th
Of
of
March.
March.
And do you know when if you're approved to start SOT training, or program, do you know how soon after the evaluation you would begin?
No, I won't have that information until Friday.
Who's doing the evaluation?
Pardon me?
Who is doing the
I
evaluation?
have no idea. My probation officer hasn't talked to me about it yet.
Okay.
He slightly mentioned it today when I saw him.
Okay. What's your thoughts?
Well, I agree. I thought the 120 days was too long. And I also do have concerns with the impulse. But I don't know much, right, the evaluation, and then it could be how long before you get into treatment, we don't know that.
Right.
Well, okay. I'll make another motion to approve the appeal for address specific for a period of 90 days. Or not at 90, so
60.
60.
60. If we're 60, we would have time, should have time to have the evaluation. We should be able to get a report out,
Right.
a report back as far as what that is and where you are with treatment. And so you would need to come back with that.
Are you also able to get any reports of your records of SOT2 in prison? Are you able to get, even though you didn't complete it?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so we have a new motion on the table to, I just need a second for 1730 Badger Street, at apartment 2, address specific for a term of 60 days. Is there a second?
Yes, second.
Okay, let's go ahead and vote.
Motion passes 3-1.
Okay, Mr. Beck, you've been approved to move to 1730 Badger Street, apartment number 2, address specific. He'll be getting a notice sent to that location. He'll have to come back in our May meeting. If you fail to report, you would automatically be declined. In the meantime, you also should bring to us that evaluation and any documentation that would prove that you either are scheduled to get in classes or you're already going through classes.
Okay.
Okay, if you don't bring those, we'd have to revote for you to stay there longer at that particular point.
Okay.
All right, understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next up is Nathan Sheely. Shy. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm used to it. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
How are you?
Oh, not too bad.
Okay, so last time we saw you was in November, and we were looking at 120 days we gave you. You're back here. So tell us how it's been going over the last 120 days.
Pretty good.
You still employed?
Yes.
Same place?
Yep.
Again, just to refresh, if we want to talk about your treatment programs, we can do that either in public or private session.
Oh,
Okay.
that's good.
Okay. Do you have any update on that?
Yeah, right here.
Okay. So I've got a letter here from Family Services dated March the 12th, from James Drake.
You say pretty good what's going on, that it's not great.
Honestly, I kind of been struggling to adjust a little bit,
In what ways?
just from prison, mostly socially. Just kind of working and going home mostly. I didn't really realize how, I hate to say institutionalized I was, but I did 10 years in prison. So it's just kind of, I don't know, I kind of have a fear of going out and being about people so much. Kind of trying to work on that. But other than that, work's going good. Everything else is pretty good.
How much time are you spending with your family?
I've been going to see them probably like once a month on weekends.
Okay. Anybody else that you're spending time with?
Recently I've been in contact with I don't want to say ex-wife, but wife, because we're still married. We kind of have been reestablishing ties a little bit.
Okay. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Time will tell, I guess. I think it's positive for the most part. We still have definite feelings for each other and that kind of thing. Where it leads, it's too early to tell, really.
Sure, understand that. So are you, this is a member of Celebration Church, are you getting a chance to practice any of your faith or not? Is that helping?
Yeah, it helps. I need to try to be more outgoing on there, but I don't know, like I said, I still kind of struggle in social situations a little bit.
How often you see Mr. Drake?
Once every other week,
In a group or by yourself?
by myself.
Okay. And do you like working with him or not?
Yeah, actually I do.
Okay.
It kind of gives me an outlet, somebody to talk to that, I mean, I talk to my wife, but certain things you don't want to talk to your wife about. I talk to my parents, certain things you don't want to talk to your parents about. He's like the one place I can go and talk about everything. And I know it's kind of a safe place.
Okay.
Excuse me, is there a waiver as far as discussing mental health treatment?
Yeah, I asked him.
Okay.
Yep.
Are you involved with any other counseling or group activities like that?
I've been going to NA,
Okay.
Once a week?
yeah.
Okay. Any other questions for him?
Have you gotten in any other trouble that we don't know about?
Okay, anybody want to make a motion?
Motion to approve the application, address specific.
11115 Cherry Street.
Yes.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion passes 3-1.
Okay, sir, you've been approved to 1115 Cherry Street, address specific. If you do move, you gotta come back in front of us. If you move within the city limits of Green Bay, we'll send that over to that location.
All right, thank you guys.
Yep.
Have a good day.
Next up is Mr. Klein. Come on over. Bring me your stuff here, just give me a sec. Okay, so we're back here after the 120 days. So how things been going?
Fairly good.
Fairly good? You
Yep.
still employed?
No, I'm not.
Okay, what happened?
I injured myself. I had to go to have neck surgery.
Okay,
So during this time, I'm trying to take this time to go to school
so where are you going to school?
in WTC,
For what, may I ask?
graphic design.
Okay, how long you been enrolled?
I haven't. I'm just enrolling for the summer classes.
Okay. So a quick question for you, since you were injured, how are you being able to pay for your, where you're living?
I help my neighbor snowblower driveway out.
Okay,
It brings in a little bit, not a whole lot. Mainly it's on my girlfriend.
okay. And do you know how long you're gonna be laid up where you can't work?
I gotta start my physical therapy. I just had surgery not that long ago,
Okay,
so I gotta start physical therapy, which is, I believe, from Friday. I have an appointment
all right.
to start physical therapy through that. As far as me going out trying to find a job or something, I don't know if that's gonna be something I'm gonna be able to do, or if I'm gonna have to try to get on like SSI or something.
Okay. Does anybody else have any more questions for him in regards to his status? Usually when we do 120 days, we say what you need to bring back.
Right, that's what I have on here. What are we checking for? I don't see it.
Can I come up and say something?
Hang on a second. Mr. Klein, if we want to talk about your treatment programs, can we do that in public or private session, would you prefer? So are you doing any treatment programs right now?
No,
Okay.
I finished my treatment back in 2005.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else have any other questions for him before I ask for anybody to come on up? Okay, ma'am, would you like to come on up? I just need your name and address, please. You can sit right here.
My name is Mae Cornelius, Maecornelius, and I live at 2420 Oakwood Drive.
Okay, go ahead.
The last meeting, you had said it was for 120 days just to see how things were going and to verify that it would still be the same, that my feelings would be the same about the situation as well as his. There has not been any change. He continues to be an asset in the household, helping me with regular household things. I can't do everything, and he continues to help with everything, laundry, shoveling. I've never shoveled my driveway. It's been one heck of a year.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
So how's been his attitude and emotional state?
It's been okay. We have had some setbacks with the move, with him changing venues, with him changing probation officers. There has been a lot of changes with her rules. She has not been as friendly as the previous one, I would say, or as she has taken away some of his liberties that he had prior to that, and it has been frustrating.
Like what, can I ask?
Going to festivals, to go grocery shopping. That's because there's a child care place in there. And my understanding was with his charge that he would still be able to perform these types of things. And under his last probation officer, he was able to do a number of things. And the new probation officer does not allow those same things. So, but besides that, that's really been the only thing. He gets frustrated that he can't work, but that's, in that situation,
Any issues with, straight off anger?
no.
Okay. Any other questions for him? Okay, I'm gonna make a motion to approve Mr. Klein at 2420 Oakwood Drive for another 120 days, at which time I'd like to see him back again to see how things are going again from an emotional standpoint, see if he's able to get through his his issues with his neck and see if he is actually enrolled in school and started that process. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second that motion.
Motion passes 3-1.
Okay, sir, you've been approved for another 120 days. When you come back, we definitely want to see, how things continue to go from an anger management standpoint, see if you're able to get reemployed, see, if not, if you're going to go to school, like to see like your application that you've been accepted to go to NWTC, okay? All right, thank you. Mr. Schultz? Just reading your notes here, just give us a second. Okay, I'm looking at the last notes here. It didn't say that we asked him back.
Well, wasn't he at Ashland?
I think this is.
Oh,
Different
new
location.
location, okay, I apologize. All right, so, does anybody want to re-review his case? Okay, if not, I guess the question is why are you looking to move?
Well, me and my girlfriend at the time broke up. And
Okay.
that's her apartment.
Okay.
Which is why I'm living where I'm at right now. Also in the process of me and her breaking up, I got put on a ATR at Racine Correctional Institution.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I got put on an ATR at Racine Correctional Institution for violations to my probation.
What were the violations?
I had internet access. I was having my daughter spend time with me without proper chaperone. Me and my girlfriend at the time were staying at places like the Tundra Lodge and different hotels like that where they have parks for
Kids?
kids, and that's a violation of my probation.
How long were you revoked for?
I did a 72-day sanction.
And when was this?
From May, beginning of May until I got released on September 5th
Of this year?
of 2018, correct?
Okay, I'm sorry, yes, 2018.
So when did you move to Monroe?
About 2 months ago, because I was staying at the TLP when I got released. And my time lapsed at the TLP, and my probation officer told me to move to Monroe Street. And 2 weeks into me staying there, my PO comes to me and tells me, well, I was just informed that even though it's a hotel, you still have to put in the paperwork for the board because it's still in the Green City limits. I did that right away, just at the earliest date that I could get it.
Are you employed, sir?
Yes, I am.
Were you employed?
I work through Personnel Connections, and they have me working out at RGL Logistics, and I've been there since October.
Why did you break your parole rules?
I got too relaxed, and with I have a new probation officer now, and with my old PO gave me some leniency with the internet for stuff that I could do, because my girlfriend at the time was on seizure, so he gave me permission to look up any pills that the doctor was prescribing to her to see what the side effects and stuff were. And I just took that there and said, okay, well, he gave me permission to do this here, so I went out and bought an Xbox One, had internet access with that there. I was watching movies, porn. The other thing, the problem with my daughter is I hardly get to spend time with her, so any time that I got with her, whether it was me by myself or with a chaperone with, I took advantage of it, so that I could actually see my daughter. The hotel things was just one thing that we just did, just get out of the house and just have a little bit of fun and time to ourselves, and my girlfriend.
Okay. Any more questions for him? Does anybody want to speak either for or against him? Sir, why don't you come on up? Could you just have your name and address?
Name is Roy DeRuyter. My address is 1079 Butternut Lane, Oneida.
Okay.
I'm with Circles of Support, and he comes intermittently, I gotta say that, you know. I saw a change since he started coming. Haven't seen him in a little bit, but I still recognize that change is kind of calmed down. You know, I'm no doctor or anything, I'm just going on by what I observe. You know, he was a lot more stressed when he first came into the group, and he was attending consistently, you know, for I'd say about a month or so, and now it's like intermittently,
Okay.
so.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Did we have any more questions for him?
I do. Why have you not been attending Circles of Support consistently?
A lot had to do with my work schedule, and a lot had to do with the weather that we've been having, because I don't have my own vehicle, so I rely a lot on public transportation or walking. And a lot lately, it's just been either too cold or like snowing out.
Why didn't you notify them?
I don't have any of their numbers to notify them. I did, when I spoke with my probation officer, I let her know that, and I just assumed that she would relay the messages to Roy.
Okay. You have a telephone?
I do.
Okay. Did you ask your probation officer for their information so you could contact Circles of Support?
No.
Okay. Does anybody want to make a motion?
Also, can I say
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
I also am doing aftercare every Monday at, I guess it would be Attic up here, and it's supposed to be for only 20 weeks, but I'll probably keep attending that until.
Do you have any documentation that you're attending?
She said she was gonna give me a letter, and it must have slipped her mind to write me a letter for that.
Okay. My question is, why didn't you ask her for the letter?
I did, but she had things going on with other clients as well that she was taking care of at the same time.
But you're the one who needs the letter?
Correct.
And it's like with Circles of Support, you're the one who needs to stay in contact with them so you can go and be with them. What my concern is, you don't take initiative to do these things. Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
All right. Anybody want to make a motion in regards to Mr. Schultz? I'm gonna make a motion to deny Mr. Schultz to 119 North Monroe. Is there a second?
Second.
So just so everybody understands here, saying yes means you're denying him, just so we vote correctly. And if you say no, that means you're against that motion. Just want to make sure we understand how to vote.
Motion to deny passes unanimously.
Okay, sir, you've been denied to move to 119 North Monroe. Doesn't mean you can't come back at a future time to look at another location. I think the big thing here, to be honest with you, is that you had a good thing going and you made choices that allow you to get revoked in terms of breaking the rules and in terms of when you got back out, there's certain things that you need to do to get back into the correct state, whether it's through circles of support or through aftercare. And right now, at least for me, I didn't see that at this particular point. So, all right, thank you for your time. Next up is Mr. Cole. So you're looking to move to 1315 North Walnut, correct?
Correct.
All right. And last time you were at 1730 Badger Street, correct?
Correct.
Okay, why are you looking to move?
Mainly because I've got a lot going for me right now, positives.
Good.
I moved in with my sister after my release. I was at the attic, and then I moved in with her. And then she is a caregiver for a disabled veteran.
Okay.
And he had suggested that she move out with him in Fond du Lac.
Okay.
So I had spoken to my landlord and asked about me taking over the lease. And I explained my situation to him, my offense to him, and he was okay with it.
Okay.
He said, as long as we don't have any problems. And I said, okay. But since I've been here 2 years now, once with my sister, 1 year with my sister, and then a year by myself. And I've had no incidences. Okay, I've been living here about a year. I get a sponsor through NA. His name is Chris. I talk to him regularly.
Okay.
I completed IOP with Katie at Options. I obtained full-time employment at Services Plus. My full-time benefits are eligible in April. I've been attending, excuse me, I've been attending Pro-Social Companions Group, also with Options program.
Okay.
I'm enrolled in UA monitoring. I meet with individual counselor once a week. I have a budget. I obtained a checking and savings account. Excuse me.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, my counselors are both helping me with past trauma as well as my emotional state now, just to make sure that I stay on track.
Okay. Looks like you had some issues in 2014, 15. Why don't you tell me a little about what happened there?
2014 and 15, I have to think back now.
So it looks like you were convicted ID
yeah.
theft?
Okay, yeah, that was, I was living with my nephew at the time, and he was getting ready to go move with his mother up on the Stockbridge Reservation, so I was about to be homeless, and I made a bad decision and cashed some checks.
Okay, but you just told me before that you were living on 1530 Badger Street, right? The whole time until this point, or when you got back, you were living with your sister, but then you were actually living on with your nephew for a while then?
That was after I had gotten, for the checks,
You moved in with your sister after the checks.
yes.
Okay.
And what street address was that with your sister? Badger?
No, that was, my sister, that was my nephew's place.
Okay. And what was the, so what is the address for your sister where you were living for that period of time?
Walnut Street, 1315,
1315,
yes.
okay. And how long have you been at that address?
2 years.
Okay.
From what time to what time? Can you just give me like rough year?
From 16 to now.
Okay. So you never came back to ask to move to Walnut Street?
No, the situation was temporary, and then I talked to the landlord and he approved it, so I was gonna come back and get you guys' approval.
But you lived there for 2 years.
Correct.
That's not temporary. Okay. And where are you employed again right now?
Services Plus, full-time.
So I guess that what's going through my mind is you spent, after you were convicted of identity theft, okay, and you came back, you were living on Walnut Street, right? Okay. For 2 years, and now you want to move to this location. So I guess my first question is why are you here today? Because you lived someplace for 2 years without coming in front of us. So why are you choosing to come now?
If I may, just
Go ahead.
for clarification purposes, you were living with your sister at your current address, correct?
Yes,
And your landlord agreed to put the lease now in your name?
correct.
Okay. When was the lease first put into your name?
A year ago.
A year ago, okay. So what's caused you to come before the board now after residing at this address for a year?
Just the fact that I've got all these good things going for me, and I don't want to lose any kind of support or any kind of, how would I say it, positive things that I have happening in my life right now.
So are you still on paper?
Yes, I am.
And you sure it wasn't that your PO found out that you were living here without coming in front of the board?
No.
I brought you here. See, I got some unknowns here.
Me too.
I mean, so, from a standpoint of, you've been honest in regards to, you forged checks, and then you came back to Green Bay and you're living on Walnut. Okay, so you're here. I get that. Okay, but I'm struggling with why you're really here. And I'm struggling with your explanation.
Okay,
So,
I'm here because I want the board's approval to live out this residence, because it is in
Right.
the city of Green Bay.
I understand that. But I'm trying to, I'm understanding, you'd be a very rare person that after living someplace illegally, then to come in front of the board and say, now I want to live here legally. So without somebody pushing you in that direction, whether it's a parole officer, whether it's the landlord saying, hey, you gotta get approval before I can sign the lease for you. And again, I'm just trying to get to the truth. I'm not judging you at this point for the fact that you lived there prior to coming from the board. I'm just trying to understand what truly brought you here today. If it was just you and that's what you're saying,
Oh,
you're a
okay.
pretty big rarity,
Okay.
okay? So,
It is, now that you put it like that, now okay, it is my probation's supervisor that was pushing for approval.
okay. Okay. And again, I'm just trying to get to what brought you here today.
Correct.
How long you on paper for yet?
3 years.
3 more years?
Yes.
Okay.
And I also have certificates of group completions.
I don't think, unless anybody wants to see that, I mean, it was proven last time he was here,
Right, that's okay.
so. Here's where I'm at, everybody, in going forward with this. So, I would like to see some documentation from his parole officer that parole officer actually sent him here, okay? And I would also like some proof of employment to assure that you actually are employed. Because I want to make sure that, one, the landlord truly did send him here, two, that he is actually employed, you know, so we can try to get some truth to this. So, he just handed to me just a drug testing that he went through drug testing for his employment, looks like. Just trying to find a date here. Three six.
While he's looking at that, where did you live before Walnut Street?
I was in the attic.
And that was 3 years ago?
Yes.
So I would still like to, I mean, he shows that, you know, as of March 6th, he went for drug test, but, you know, so I'd like to bring him back and give him conditional approval for 30 days and see those 2 pieces of information to prove that he's telling the truth. Just let me just finish. I just wanted to get some thoughts from, if people think that's a good idea, bad idea.
Do you think the parole officer will do that?
Well, if he wants him to live here, he would.
That's true.
If they don't, then that's
They just
between him and the
usually
parole officer,
Touch
right?
about that. Right,
I'm just saying is, I want proof that the parole officer told him to come here, is what I'm saying.
What is the, I'm
Go ahead.
just playing it, what, he admitted that it was the supervisor who wanted him to come. He admitted that it wasn't just his idea.
Well, you start off with it was just his idea,
Right, but what I'm saying is he admitted it,
right?
and before us, that it wasn't his idea. The fact that he's here now, I don't see why it would be relevant that, to have documentation that it was the parole agent or the supervisor who told him to come. I just don't see the relevance in it. The fact is, he's here now, he admitted that he wasn't telling the full truth before us. So I just don't see the relevance in that request.
Right.
And we know that's parole, probation, they won't sign these documents.
Well, all I'm asking is, did, you know, again, I understand where you're coming from, what's the relevance. My thought from a relevance standpoint is I'm trying to make sure he's following up on this because in the beginning, he didn't tell us the truth. So I could either say, yeah, okay, after me questioning him further, we got the truth, but the question is, do we have the whole truth? I don't know. You know, and so when someone lies to me, you know, I start to second guess everything. So, you know, and the other thing that really annoys me is obviously this landlord who knew he was a sex offender and obviously let him stay there without getting approval. That's one thing, that's the landlord's issue, not his issue, obviously.
I mean, quite honestly, we don't know what the landlord knew, what the person knew, or when they knew it.
That's right, you're right, that's 100% correct.
So, we have the documentation now. And what it comes down to, the only thing that would be relevant to me is proof that of your employment.
Is it a big deal if they still ask for it? The parole officer?
I mean, that's up to you, I
Okay,
mean,
right.
I get what you're saying, I too don't know what the relevance is until you say, you know, you wanna verify that now this second story is in fact the truth. Why didn't you just say it right up front?
I'm nervous. I'm just really nervous. I mean, I've been in front of this board before for, you know, and it's, every time it's just, I just get.
The last time you were approved.
and I noticed that you had everything written down, you were going verbatim. Why did you write everything down?
It's just better for me to write things down so I can keep track of it. I mean, this planner is very
Okay,
helpful to me.
okay, but you wrote it down, and it looked like you have a narrative, so you have everything written down. What was the purpose of writing it down? Were you going to give it to us, or were you just going to rely on it?
I was relying on it actually because I don't want to come into this board unprepared. So I wrote notes down so that, you know, like if there was questions asked, I would have at least, you know, somewhat of an idea what's.
Okay. I mean, again, I
Yeah.
would,
It's not gonna hurt.
It's not gonna hurt anything,
it's not gonna hurt, no.
You know, makes you feel more comfortable that way that, you know, we
It
got
would.
verification that second time through, we got the right story.
But before you make the
Yep.
motion, can she speak?
Yep, oh, definitely, I'm just gonna say if there's any more questions. Okay, why don't you come on up, ma'am, just have your name and address, please.
Yeah, my name's Amber Teal, 424 South Monroe Avenue, Suite 210.
Okay, go ahead.
Can you spell your last name?
Teele.
Thank you.
So I'm one of his counselors over at Options. We've been working together at this point probably since September or October. But I'm also the one who did your follow-up assessment to come back into services. And not only did he complete our intensive outpatient services, he also completed aftercare. He's currently in my pro-social group, and I'm the one doing UA monitoring with him. And I have seen nothing but positive changes in Tony since he's been in Options. He comes consistently to appointments. He calls for clarification on things that he has questions on. He calls to verify appointments. The writing stuff down was actually an exercise that we did together, so that really feeling fully prepared, because we are working on a lot of trauma things that have been happening, and so part of that has come up as some just very high anxiety. I hope you don't mind me saying that. So just high anxiety in different situations. But I can also confirm in meetings that I've had both with him and his probation officer together, the three of us meeting together, that, you know, you've talked about and she's talked about his current employment. He talks about it a lot. He talks about very often how proud he is of his employment. I've seen his badge for employment on almost every appointment that we've attended. And I truly am very proud of the positive changes that I've seen. We haven't had any issues across the board at Options with him in treatment, and he's been there for a while. So IOP is not an easy thing to complete. Aftercare is not an easy thing to complete because of the time frame that it can take. So that, I think, is just very, very commendable for him.
All right.
can you address any, or enlighten us at all about his living situation and the address?
I can confirm that that's the address he's at right now. I've been there on home visits.
And anything, do you have any information in a conversation with the probation or parole agent about coming before the board to?
The only conversation that we had was on February 14th, where we had talked about that this board meeting was coming up. You had received notification of it, and just kind of, okay, what are our next steps as far as being support for you? So that's the information that I have.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I would like to make a motion for Mr. Colbell, address specific, to allow him to move to 1315, is that
East
East Walnut, I'm
Walnut.
sorry, East Walnut Street. for a term of 30 days, in which after he'd come back and give us proof of employment for this last 30 days, and that he has some sort of letter from his parole officer that he was asked to come here to get into compliance with the city's ordinance. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, so Mr. Colby, you've been approved to stay at 1315 East Walnut Street. You're gonna have to come back to our next meeting and provide those two pieces of documentation, okay?
Okay, is it the same time every?
4 o'clock, yep,
Second.
second Wednesday of the month. And you'll get notice of that in the letter.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Mr. Stewart?
Hello.
Hello. Okay, before we get started, we asked you back specifically to talk about your medical driven programs, so right, you have the right to do it in public or private session.
Public.
Okay. All right, why don't you give us an update?
Well, I tried scheduling 3 appointments for Dr. Tan in a row, but they only like to schedule 1, so this is my next appointment with Dr. Tan.
Okay.
Then I asked to get a referral for counseling from Dr. Tan, but he said that he doesn't do that, so I had to go to Bellin Health, see a physician, and he referred me to a psychiatrist and a therapist. And
Okay.
I go to the therapist weekly, up from the LOI, and that's all my appointments. And I had one meeting with the other psychiatrist. He's doing, he's doing psychiatric testing on me. I have another appointment next month for more testing, and he said he might want to do an IQ test on me as well.
Okay.
But I've made every single therapy meeting.
What do you think about it?
It's great.
Is
the
it?
Guy, the guy is super nice, and you know, he shed a lot. He's given me a lot of knowledge about my own disorders. And he's actually borrowed me a book about schizophrenia, so I've been reading that. It's pretty interesting.
So you feeling, I guess, less alone
Yeah,
in terms
I
of?
feel like I have someone, you know, I can tell everything to, you know, about like hallucinations starting from when I was a child and, you know, until now, and all the paranoias I have, and well, that's what we're working on right now is paranoia. And then we're gonna work on like self-hate issues and some other issues. But right now we're working on paranoia, and it's real nice to you know, have that hour every week just to tell them about things that, you know, been bothering me for my entire life, and it's I like it. It's
Good. Have you, from a standpoint, do you think that has translated into, when you're with other people, that you're a little bit more comfortable?
yeah, for sure.
Good.
Because then I know I have the knowledge that I can explain, you know, what's going on in my head, because people with schizophrenic disorders, mine is schizoaffective, which depressive type, which is pretty bad. But I can understand now, like, why they think what I say is completely weird, because people without this disorder, they think different than people with this disorder. Like, logic with my disorder makes no sense to anybody without the disorder. So now I can like explain that to people and they're a lot more understanding.
Good. Anybody else have any more questions for him?
The last time you were here, your medication was soon to be,
Yeah,
how is that going? Are you keeping, you got
yeah.
renewals on your prescriptions?
yes, I am. I actually called Brown County Mental Health yesterday to see if I could get a prescription change off Risperdal because Risperdal is making me sleep when I don't want to sleep. I'll fall asleep 3 times a day and then go to sleep at night. And I just can't stop myself from sleeping during the day when I'm on it. So I talked to his assistant yesterday and he hasn't gotten back to me yet. I have to talk to his assistant. His assistant relays the information to him, and then he gives it back to his assistant and gives it to me. So. But yeah, my prescriptions get renewed every time I see Dr. Tam. So. And
Are you on other meds besides Risperdal?
I am on ketoconazole shampoo, which is a topical, obviously. But, that's pretty much it.
And what about working? Are you working right now, Peyton?
I actually had I'm working with Curative as a job developer. I finally got, the guy from the DVR finally got all the information over to Curative, so I actually met with him today at 1 o'clock, and we're working on finishing my resume and my cover letter, and then after that we're going to do interviewing skills and then start applying to jobs. So I meet with him again next week on Wednesday. It's going to be a weekly thing.
Okay.
So where do you stay mostly?
Mostly at 2713 Humboldt Road, number 5, but then I've been going over to my friend Tyler's house, my friend Joe's house, and my friend Tyler's mother's house.
And that's where your father lives on Humboldt?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, any more questions for him? Okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve him address specific to 2713 Humboldt Road.
Dean, I think there was someone who wanted to speak.
Oh,
Okay.
sure, come on up. Thanks for, let me put my head down.
Name is Roy DeRuyter, address 1079 Butternut, 909.
Okay, thank you.
He's consistently comes to circles. I've, just from my observation, see a lot of improvement, settling down. He contributes, helps other people, from his knowledge of what he knows of, like where to get help, who to get help from, So he's a good part of the group.
Good, good. I'm seeing a change in you as well. I mean, I think this time, more than any time I've seen you, a little bit more assertive, more
Yeah.
confident in yourself, that things are going better for you,
Mm-hmm.
and you're getting more into, socially back into, life for yourself, and your medication has really kind of stabilized you, and so I'm feeling pretty good, personally. That's the change I've seen in you,
Thank you.
so.
And Peyton, I've known you a long time,
Yeah.
and this is the most affect I've probably ever seen in you.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm impressed.
I'm slowly learning how to not have a flat affect, So.
Well, it's an everyday thing, it's gonna have to be for you.
Yeah.
And I think, us asking you to see a psychologist, hopefully that has really helped you and
Yeah, and
giving you
it's
more
helping a lot.
confidence. So, so again, I'd like to make a motion to allow him to stay permanently at 2713 Humboldt Road, apartment number 5, address specific. Is there a second?
Seconded.
15 or 5? Okay, sorry, that was a typo.
2715?
2713.
Apartment 5.
Oh, apartment 5, okay,
Sorry, it's my fault.
okay. Address specific, is there a second?
Seconded.
Motion passes unanimously.
Great, congratulations.
Say hi to your dad and Mackenzie and Joey for me when you see him next time.
Yeah. Mackenzie actually lives in Seattle now.
She does?
Yeah.
Okay,
But I will say hi to all three.
okay.
Mr. Bishop? Bring up this case here. Sir, you're currently living at Van Buren, right, on 118 South
Yes.
Van Buren? How long have you been living there?
Since I recently just got off my sanction in October.
Okay.
Why are you coming to us now?
I've been going in and out on POs, and I got the paperwork done from the landlord and finally brought it over.
What were your last PO holds for?
Me and my daughter mom been having conflict, and she called and told them some false evidence and got me locked up.
Hang on a second, I'm just checking a little bit more information. If somebody else has more questions, they can go ahead.
A lot of your criminal activity has been like within the last 2 years. 2017 in particular, right?
Yes.
So what was going on that was such a rough year?
To be honest, it wasn't really a rough year. I made a decision because my daughter mom came to me and she was stressing about the money situation. And when a proposition came to me, I took it.
Are you working now?
Yes.
Where are you working?
I work for U.S. Tech Force.
What do you do for them?
Pallets. I make pallets over in the pier.
Okay. How long have you had the job?
Just got it 2 weeks ago.
Sorry. And are you going to be living by yourself at that address?
No, I'm actually staying with my mom.
Okay, and that's mom's address?
That's my aunt, but yes.
Oh,
Hey, it's my mom's address.
Okay, got it.
She couldn't come because her husband had surgery on his knee and she's taking care of him at the moment.
Okay.
How come you don't list that on your appeal form? You don't, where it says who do you plan to live with, you have it blank.
I still wrote it on there that it was my mom address. I just wrote a different date.
No, it says who do you plan to live with? You say you're living with your mom?
Yeah.
But on the appeal form, we ask age, relationship of those you plan to live with, and you left that blank. You didn't put your mom down. Just,
Yeah. I really don't know how to fill that out, to be honest.
Okay.
That's why I messed up with my last board meeting, because I filled out the whole paperwork and didn't send the other part to the landlord.
Did someone help you fill this form out, or?
My PO Brittany, she explained how to do it, and we ended up getting in contact with the landlord. He came, we filled his part. I filled out mine, brought her straight down.
Anybody have any more questions for him? Anybody like to speak either for or against him? Ma'am, come on up. Can I have your name and address, please?
Cassandra Harris, 1857 Western Avenue, Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Go ahead, ma'am.
This is my nephew. I've known him for his entire life. He's like my second baby. And my daughter is like 6 months apart to the day, 5 months apart to the day. It's unfortunate, the situation that leads him to have to see you guys. I wish it wouldn't have never happened. I've seen a lot of changes within my nephew. I've actually been like one of his bigger supporters. He calls me his mom, although I'm his aunt.
Yeah.
Job interviews, like basically anywhere he needs to go, I take him. Shopping, whatever.
How's he gonna do living alone?
Excuse me?
How's he gonna do living with his mom, you think?
Oh no, they get along just fine. It's just that, like with my sister, okay, my sister has like foot surgery now, well, foot issues. So walking around is like really hard for her. She had like some rods and stuff put in, then they had to take them out and it was messed up. They get along really well. It's like a lot of times when she couldn't like make it to school meetings and stuff like that, I would be the one stepping in, going like some parent-teachers conference because she has 2 other children, and the age groups that they're in, if they having like a meeting for one or the other child, she wouldn't be able to go, so I would step in.
Okay.
Yeah, but they get along just fine.
Okay, any other questions for her? Okay. Well, I think one of the big things for me, to be honest with you, is that I think, Mr. Bishop, that, you know, in terms of not reoffending, I think it's important to have, you know, a good home life, important to have a job that you can go to and stay kind of balanced. So, I'm gonna make a motion to approve you to 118 South End, Barron Street for a period of 60 days. Address specific, at which you have to come back to us and prove that you've had consistent employment over the next 60 days. To kind of make sure that, you know, you're on the right track, or stay on the right track.
Quick question,
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, I should have asked this before. Are you undergoing any type of treatment right now, or seeing a therapist or anything?
A therapist me and my PO had just set up because of my last PO hold. I got really frustrated because the allegation that was brought against me was so serious, and I know that I didn't do it. And I felt like it was going to take me away from my daughter, so I was kind of getting ready to revocate myself. And when
I'm
she
sorry,
came-
getting ready to what?
Revocate.
Okay.
And when she came and talked to me and took my statement, she asked me if I needed to talk to anybody, which me and Brittany, we got pretty close, me, her, and the supervisor. And I pretty much talked to her and my auntie about everything. So she had asked me if I wanted to talk to anybody, and I told her yes. So we have a meeting set up for me to go to talk to somebody.
When is that appointment?
That is next week.
Okay.
All right, so I've made a motion for 118 South Van Buren for a term of 60 days. Is there a second?
Second.
Computer's not responding.
How much did the city pay for this system again?
It happens.
I'm recovering the webpage.
I would also be interested, I would like for you to bring in proof from of attendance with your senior therapist.
Okay.
Does that have to be in
I don't think so, that's I think just, you know, we'd just like you to see, bring that too.
We're waiting for our ballots to come up on here. That's
So-
why we're sitting here not saying anything, we're waiting to.
I just had an error on the website, that's all.
If it, as everybody stares you down.
Yeah.
It's coming. We're back up.
He's a lawyer, not a tech.
That's not true.
Your ballot should be up.
There we go.
Motion passes 3-1.
Okay, so you've been approved to move to 118 South Van Buren Street for a term of 60 days, which time you have to come back and provide for sure documentation on continuous employment, as well as any other information that would help your case out, specifically what she asked for in terms of seeing a therapist, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Last up is Mr. Randy Schranke. Is that right? Okay, looks like you're looking to move from 2625 Humboldt Road, 2721?
Correct.
Why are you looking to move?
$300 cheaper.
Okay. When we last saw you, you're sitting here. So it's for 437 South Monroe Avenue, back in 2016. So you were living at this other location, which wasn't Monroe. Is that correct?
Probably Shawano Avenue, TLP.
Well, this says no, 2625 Humboldt Road. But where you're...
2625 is where I live now.
Right, but the last time we had seen you was in 2016, was for a different address, not 2625 Humboldt Road.
Meaning that you didn't come in to get approved to reside at your current address.
2625 Humboldt Road is where I've been staying for the last 18 months. It's a motel. Tower motel.
Right, but that's within the city limits of Green Bay. You still would have needed to come in front of us. Because it's still within the city
And
limits
that's
of Green
why I'm
Bay.
here today. My parole officer said I had to come in front of you.
Okay. How long are you on parole for yet?
April of 2023.
Sir, do you work?
I'm on disability.
On disability.
Gulf War veteran.
What do you do with your days, sir?
What am I doing today?
No, what do you do with your days?
Pretty much plan them around with my parole officer, Jeannie Delane. Our relationship is a very, very good one. She's more than a parole officer. She's like my psychologist. She's everything. She knows I don't have family in town here. So our relationship has become very, very close. She gives me professional advice all the time. Tells me where I can go, where I cannot go. And I really need that in my life, somebody to talk to.
Okay. Is there any other questions for him?
Back in, let me see, what's there? When we would have saw you, 2015, you were going to Circles of Support. Do you still go to Circles of Support? Do you have anything to do with them anymore?
Oh, yes, I do. Matter of fact, there's a gentleman through that group who picks me up. Because I have epilepsy, I don't drive.
Okay. Looks like you had no other incidences since 2000, since the original incident, so. Anybody want to make a motion in regards to this change of address? Anybody?
Okay, I will move to approve address specific.
2721 Humboldt Road, apartment 3.
Thank you.
Is there a second? I'll second it.
Motion passes 3-1.
Okay, so you've been approved to move to that location. It's very important that if you choose to move again, that you come in front of us prior to moving to any new location. I think the board was very generous in approving this location. As you've seen before, we're not too keen on people living in places that it wasn't approved by the board
I
through the
understand,
city
sir.
ordinance. Okay?
Last winter, for quite some time, I lived along the railroad tracks on Western Avenue. I was homeless. And because I'm a sex offender, there's a lot of shelters around who would not let me in the door.
Yep, I understand.
They would tell me, if you come in, we'll call the sheriff's department.
Yep.
We'll give you a place to live. Yeah. So I was sleeping along the railroad tracks on Western Avenue for quite some time, until I think I got turned in by a train engineer or conductor, because I got really, really cold out one night and rainy, so I built a little fire I dug a hole in the ground, built a little fire. But those trains set up so high, they can see down and even see a little fire. Because it wasn't more than 30 minutes after that, sheriff's department came with the fire department, and they moved me along,
Okay.
right to the jail.
All right. All right, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, our next,
Will I get a notice?
you'll get a
there?
notice sent to that location.
Okay, can Miss Jean Delane, my PO, also get a notice?
Yeah, we copy probation agents.
Thank you very much.
All right, there's nothing else on the agenda. Our next meeting is April 10th at 4 PM. Could I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
Never delayed on that one.
That's always the good one.
Hello, Ed. How are you? You feeling all right, man?
I am.
See you.
Okay, I sent it for the vote.
If anybody votes no, they're gonna have a big problem.
Can you take an oral, because I already,
Yep.
okay.
So did I.
Oh my gosh!
Are you both voting yes?
Yes.
Did you just want to stick around for any reason? Is there any way we can have more information on previous visits? It seems like sometimes there is and sometimes there's
I think it's the new
nothing.
setup.